the horoscope analysis of Indian Bollywood actress Aishwarya Rai. So basically, with regards to the celebrities horoscopes, yesterday I have done on the Steve Jobs as well. So today I would like to talk and discuss about Aishwarya Rai horoscope combination. So to ensure that how the astrological combination has been aligned across her birth chart with regards to the events that is being took place in her life. Okay, so basically Aishwarya Rai, as you guys know, she's the well-known celebrity and Bollywood actress, a model, and the wife of famous actor Abhishek Bachchan, who is the son of the megastar Amitabh Bachchan. So former Miss World winner of 1994 and the recipient of prestigious civilian award Padma Shri, okay, by Government of India. So it's really pleasure for me to take you guys across the horoscope of Aishwarya Rai. So as you guys can see, I've displayed the screen to you across. So her date of birth is basically 1st November 1973. She born on Thursday, and the time of birth is 7:20 a.m. And her place of birth is basically Mangalore. And if you guys can able to see, so her she belongs to the Lagna of Libra. Okay, and the Lagna Lord is basically Venus, and the zodiac sign is basically Sagittarius, which is the moon sign, and the zodiac sign Lord is basically Jupiter, and she belongs to nakshatra of Purvashada, which is the nakshatra Lord of Venus. So here Venus and Jupiter acting as a great significators, will be providing their own blessings for the native, because Venus and Jupiter are very important in horoscope, especially Venus, because you can see the Lagna Lord is basically Venus, as well as the zodiac sign Lord is basically Jupiter. So let's quickly get into the horoscope analysis. So let me how I can able to, yeah, relate. So if you guys can able to see here, let me reduce this a bit. This should be 100%. Yeah. So you guys can see she belongs to the ascendant, the Libra ascendant, whereas in which Sun is placed in the first house. Then the 7 belongs to Libra. So Libra zodiac sign, Libra ascendant, Sun in the first house. Then in the Mercury in the second house. Okay, Mercury in the second house. And whereas in the third house, she's having Venus along with Moon, Rahu. And fourth house, you have Jupiter. Fifth house, she doesn't have anyone. Sixth house, no one. Seventh house, she's having Mars, which is a Scorpio zodiac sign. You guys can see Mars is sitting in its own sign. And eighth house, she doesn't have anyone. Ninth house, Saturn plus Ketu. 10th house, no one. 11th house, no one. 12th house, Pluto. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto is something we don't consider for analysis. Okay. Yeah. So here basically Sun becomes a negative here, because Sun is placed in the sign of Libra. So Sun becomes a negative, but the Lord of Venus, the Lord of Lagna, is sitting in the third house of communication and networking. Okay, and he's co-joined with Rahu. That means what it happens is Rahu is actually acting as basically like a Venus. That means Rahu is amplifying the energy of Venus along with Moon. Okay, and let's say on Jupiter, she's having the fourth house, which is the debilitation sign. Jupiter in the fourth house is debilitated. And fifth house, she doesn't have anyone. Sixth house doesn't have anyone. Mars is sitting in its own sign, so Mars is also considered as positive. And whereas Saturn is considered as neutral, Ketu is considered as negative. Okay, so that is basically the planetary combination. Even the Mercury is basically a negative, but we cannot consider it as complete negative, complete positive. In astrology, we have something like functional malefic and functional benefic. That means certain planets in certain houses becomes the benefic, certain planets in certain houses, certain zodiac signs becomes malefic. So here basically Mercury is a functionally benefic, and Venus is also functionally benefic. Moon is functionally benefic, and it's also, he is basically a positive in Sagittarius. And Jupiter is in the Kendra. 1, 4, 7 and 10 houses are considered as Kendra. Any planets in 1, 4, 7, 10 will be acting so good, because whenever there's Dasha, Mahadashas or Antradashas comes, so this person will be raising in his career like anything, because first house considered as self, fourth house considered as motherly nourishment, and also fourth house considered as house, the married, the life after the marriage. Seventh house considered as spouse matters, whereas 10th house considered as a career and profession. Okay. So as I mentioned to you, by seeing her horoscope, what I understood is ascendant Venus is a dual nature acting in the sign of Sagittarius, and Venus is accompanied with Moon with the malefic shadow planet Rahu. Okay, and this is placed in the third house, and the benefic planet Jupiter is rules the third and the sixth house. For example, for Sagittarius and for Pisces, the Lord is basically Jupiter. So here Jupiter is actually acting as both. He is placed in the third house, and he's placed in the fourth house, but he's acting as a lot of third house and fourth house. So this is basically her combination. So what happens is, let's talk about the transits, because transits are very important, because that will helps you to understand at what point of time which event will happen. Okay, so while Saturn currently transits in dual nature in Sagittarius, Saturn is right now in the Sagittarius zodiac sign and moves towards the third house. So during this transit through the third house, Saturn crosses the radical position of Venus. For example, Saturn is here, Rahu is here as per the transit, Ketu is here, and Jupiter is also here. Okay, so what happens is here, as Saturn is on transit with Venus, this has to exert more to keep things forward, moving forward in her occupational front. And also, this also signifies that she should be very careful in terms of signing a deal, because Rahu and Chandra was there. Okay, so and also major change in her career is forcing for her. That is what it is being seen, and she needs to handle the matters related to finance more carefully. The reason being, the Lord Jupiter, the Karaka for money, is debilitated in the fourth house. So she has to handle the money, very important. And also there is a sign, there is a much careful with regards to the health as well. Why? Because you can see Rahu is conjunct with Venus. Venus represents her own self. In the female native, Venus represents her own self. And Rahu and Ketu, the Ketu is been aspecting the Venus, and Rahu is in conjunct with Venus. Okay, so that is the reason she has to take very good care of her health right now, and she has to be much eventful, progressive, as well as and also much challenging situation, because the reason being here, Saturn is placed on Venus. Saturn will be transiting over the Moon, and Saturn will be on Mars as well, because 157 series, and Saturn will be transiting to his own self, and Saturn will be transiting on Ketu as well. So this is the time where in which she has to be much careful in terms of her health, as well as managing the finances. And also she there's a challenging environment prevailing across the Sagittarius zodiac sign. Okay, so that's what I talk to you about Rahu and Ketu as well, because Rahu Ketu are aspecting to the Venus. So Venus is the Karaka for money. So in terms of finances, she should be careful. So from around March 2019, so Rahu entered the dual nature of Gemini. As I mentioned to you, Rahu is transiting the Gemini zodiac sign right now. And this is basically the ninth house of her born birth chart. So during the transversing the ninth house, Rahu crosses over the radical position of Saturn and Ketu. Rahu is transiting on Saturn, Rahu is transiting on Ketu. Okay, so this can lead to more visits to the foreign countries, because ninth house represents foreign travel, and also she will be visiting to the religious places as well, because ninth house talks about visiting to the pilgrimage, holy places, religious, being religious and all that, which have the positive refreshing effect on her life. And also, let's talk about the Ketu right now. Ketu is transiting here. So Ketu is upon Venus, Ketu is upon Moon, Ketu is upon Rahu. Okay, so what happens is, these are all malefic planets. Ketu is a malefic planet, and you have a Rahu also there. So Ketu is the malefic Ketu is transiting upon the benefic Venus and benefic Moon. So this, she has to be patient enough. She has to deal the matters in a very cool way. Okay, things are not to move as desired by Aishwarya. So she has to face some kind of challenges, especially because Ketu is a planet of obstacles, Ketu is a planet of disagreements, conflicts, and all that. Okay, so let's talk about the Jupiter right now. So Jupiter in her natal chart, it is placed in the fourth house. It is debilitated, but we don't consider all that when we are discussing about the transits, Vedic transits. So what happens is currently Jupiter is transiting across the Scorpio zodiac sign from water, which is the water sign, and from there he has moved into the Sagittarius. Okay, so when he was in the second house, which is Scorpio, it is a second house. Second house talks about incoming. Second house talks about your savings, your assets, your tangible, intangible assets, and childhood and all that. So looks like she might be getting an opportunity right now for related to her films and all that. Why? Because Jupiter is aspecting upon Mercury. So when Jupiter is aspecting upon Mercury, the person will be getting tremendous opportunities in terms of their occupation, and also with regards to the financial friend as well, because Mercury being the friend of Venus, because Venus is the lord of Lagna for her, and Mercury, the Jupiter transit of Mercury is a very good period for financial gains as well. Okay, and 30th March, what happened is Jupiter has entered into a Sagittarius zodiac, and as you guys know from the Vedic transits. So, and also especially from 11th April 2009 onward, Jupiter has gone into retrograde position. Retrograde, as in like the planets start moving towards the backward from one zodiac sign to the other zodiac sign. Okay, so Jupiter is moving in the direct position from the 12th August onwards, as per the Nadi astrology. So retrogression has been completed and Jupiter started moving into the positive direction. Now Jupiter is transiting upon Venus, Jupiter is transiting upon Moon, Jupiter is transiting upon Rahu. So what happens is, as I mentioned to you, third house talks about the decision making as well. So whenever whenever she is taking any important decisions, she has to really think twice and thrice before taking any decisions. Why? Because of placement of Rahu here. Jupiter transiting on the Rahu, which might leads to the bad decisions. So she has to be very careful in terms of taking decisions. She has to take the calculative risks and all that. And Jupiter coming in direct into the Sagittarius zodiac sign, because Sagittarius belongs to his own zodiac sign. When Jupiter is transiting here, so she can able to ease out of the pressure or any kind of challenging situations which he is having. This is the time period where those problems will be coming to an end. Okay, in terms of the occupational front especially, because the lord of 10th house, the career, he is sitting in the third house, and Jupiter will be transiting upon the lord of 10th house, that is Moon. So which gives the indication that there will be a lot of the pressures or challenges which she was undergoing in terms of career or occupation, so that will come down. So this is the good period for her. And with regards to the Jupiter, and from 5th November 2019 onwards, Jupiter enters its own sign of Sagittarius in direct again, so which is the third house. And also malefic Ketu is also there here, and Saturn is also there. Okay, this indicates a progressive period for Aishwarya, as I mentioned to you. And so deliberating well enough over the transits of major planets period during the 2008 and whole of 2019, it seems to be very eventful, very progressive, and also prosperous time for her, depending upon the planetary conjunction. Why? Because Jupiter is placed here. Jupiter is transiting onto the Sagittarius zodiac sign. Jupiter transiting on the Venus, it gives enormous financial gains, enormous opportunities. Add on to that, Moon is also there, which is considered as a prosperous time for her. And of course, the challenges were because of this. Jupiter, natal Jupiter is in the debilitated sign. Okay, and Mercury is sitting in the second house. This is Mercury becomes negative for her. Second house even talks about communication. There may be chances of misunderstandings and all that. And Mars is sitting in its own sign, but this is basically a seventh house. Seventh house Lord talks about your partnership, business dealings and all that as well. So Mars is sitting, that gives a lot of courage and a lot of willpower to her. So that is what's being seen, and Mars is giving its own blessings. And right now Rahu is transiting upon Saturn, Rahu is transiting upon Ketu. So that is the reason Rahu especially transiting into the Venus as well. So this is where third house talks about the decision makings as well. So in terms of decisions, so she has to be careful in terms of choosing her films and all that. And yeah, so that's it for now. And I just thought of explaining to you about Aishwarya's horoscope. It's really good horoscope. The reason being the kind of period which she is undergoing right now. It's so good. in terms of the planetary transits. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's helped.